Hey guys, welcome to another video. So, I have been trying to film a video for the past few days, trying to talk about something, and I'm just realizing I'm not gonna have the perfect day, the perfect circumstances, anywhere else to film but my bathroom. So I'm just gonna jump in very quick, very straight to the point, because I need to get this off my chest first, and then I feel I can move forward. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. You've probably already read the title, which, you know. So, not as easy as it looks, but I need to do this. I really, truly need to do this because I feel like I'm not doing other things. I'm not filming other videos because it's stopping me. Like my own self is stopping me basically. So, where do I begin? I don't know. Back a few months ago, so in July, early July, I confirmed that I have ADHD. Who's surprised? So I confirmed I have ADHD. I have had the suspicion. I have been kind of wondering about it pretty much since we moved here, like constantly from the moment we moved here. I have had the thought pop into my head over the years. So more so after I had Angel and after I had Iris, especially like after the pregnancies, when I was in the newborn stage. And it's quite common for people to be like, oh, you know, just after having a baby, of course, you know, it's like postpartum depression or anxiety or the baby blues or just so many things that, you know, people kind of take for granted and are like, that's what it is. It's not, you know, why would you have ADHD? And there's like a whole story behind why I thought I had ADHD, like, because the main thing with ADHD, so that we can clarify, is you need to have symptoms of ADHD that kind of, you know, impact your life generally from childhood throughout to adulthood. So that is me. I did have all of that. I might make a separate video if you guys are interested and talk about the entire, like, why I thought I had ADHD, what kind of led me to actually look more into it, all that fun stuff if you guys are interested, because it is probably a tad of a longer story, probably take us forever. But yes, I confirmed I had ADHD, and when I say confirmed, I do not have an official diagnosis. The official diagnosis is a process. It is, I believe in every country it's a process. Like I think in Australia it's even harder than here, so I guess I'm lucky in one way. It's quite a process, and a lot of the process is really hard for women specifically. When it comes to adult ADHD, it's a lot easier to diagnose boys than girls, and a lot easier to diagnose men than women. So fun times in that aspect. Now, I am looking into an official diagnosis. I will say I have had questions. Even hubby asked me at one point, why look into an official diagnosis? Why put a name to it? Like, what's the purpose? Especially considering I'm not one to jump into taking medication, for example. It's more so that the moment I confirmed it, like the moment, again, clinical psychologist or psychiatrist can diagnose, okay? Not psychologist, not, you know, let's be clear on that. So clinical psychologist that I was speaking to, he's our family therapist, basically. He was able to confirm this for me and kind of start the whole process of official diagnosis. Now, what you gain with official diagnosis is medication. I'm not so much for the medication yet. My head is a bit, but yeah, we'll talk about that separately. What happened once I got the confirmation was, even though I suspected it, and even though in my head I was kind of like, I think I have ADHD, like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it looks like this. As soon as it was confirmed, it just kind of clicked. Everything just kind of, it was like, oh, yes, that makes sense. And then so many other things that I had never really put together actually came and fell into place as well. So a lot of other things that I would have never thought ADHD related are actually ADHD related. So your girl is basically rediscovering herself. I'm finding out that a lot of things that I thought were just like weird things about me and quirks and whatnot are actually ADHD. And that is part of me. That is still part of me, very much so part of me, because ADHD is part of me. That's, you know. But it also explains so much, you know? And it just makes me, I feel happier for having this confirmation. I feel like I'm not this failure. unfortunately, a lot of people with ADHD, especially, so I was always one of those kids where I was never really reaching my potential. I had so much potential, and things would always kind of work in a way where I would never reach my potential. Yeah. So that's a common theme for kids who have ADHD, and they also have a higher IQ level. They're quite intelligent. I don't want to go too much detail about like the whole childhood process and everything. I want to, if you guys are interested in that, I will happily do so. But it's just so many things made sense as to why I start certain things and then I never finish them, as to why I'll jump into things with such great enthusiasm and then it just fizzles out. And I move on to the next thing. And just so many things. And as well as YouTube for you guys, okay? Was the simplest thing. I keep promising so many videos. I want to film so many videos. And then a lot of them I don't do because I'm kind of like, I'm weird. Like, what on earth am I gonna share? Like, if I show them how I clean my house, like going from one thing to the other, like, what are they gonna think of me? And then there's just so many other ideas that I just never bring to fruition because I start planning them and then when it gets to like executing them, things go a bit awry, Yeah. So I'm trying not to drag out this video. I'm trying not to ramble on. The main crux of it is I have ADHD. Fun times. I have the hyperactive type as well, which I thought the hyperactive type kind of stopped when you became an adult and it was kind of internalized. Apparently I've done the opposite. I internalized it as a child because of circumstances. Again, longer video, we'll talk about that. And now it's kind of coming out more and more. And the more I'm kind of accepting it and the more I'm kind of working on it, it takes a lot of work. I'm barely at the beginning. Let's not even go there. But the more I'm kind of letting myself just be me, the more I'm a crazy, hyper little person. That's a fact. So and to be honest, like there were times when I would edit videos and I would look at myself and there were days when I would be like kind of like down in the dumps. And then there were days when I was just hyper. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys seeing me would have thought, or if I mask it very well. Apparently I do mask it very well because I will say that my entire life, the one main thing that I have always kind of had that really bugged me was that everyone would always say how quiet I am, and how nice and quiet and peaceful and gentle and just all those, nice, quiet, feminine, delicate girl things. And I would be like, I'm not quiet. I'm like, why are they saying I'm quiet? I'm not. I don't feel quiet and peaceful. And like inside of me, I'm like a, a hyper mess. And yet I never showed that to most people. Hubby apparently has gotten a pretty good taste of it, turns out, after multiple conversations. So it does come down to who I feel comfortable with, and I can kind of allow myself to be me. Again, very long story as to like my childhood and everything and the reasons why. Happy to share my whole why I say I have ADHD and how my ADHD was as a child and for so on. If anyone wants to hear about that, I'm more than happy to do that. But yes, I wanted to get this off my chest. I wanted to share this with you guys, and I want to add YouTube and YouTube videos and creating content because I love it. I really do. It's just, I want to add this to my goals. I want to add this to the little set of goals that I'm kind of building on each other and adding and moving forward with. Because funnily enough, losing weight, kind of just generally moving on from certain things that impacted me emotionally, a lot of behaviors, a lot of things I accept from other people, just so many things that I'm working on for myself and for my well-being. I'm kind of like this ADHD, just it clicked into place and has allowed me to actually sit on this path, get started on this path and actually make progress for the first time. So girls are calling, I need to go. I think my number one thing, no matter like ADHD, no matter what, is like, as soon as the girls need me, I'm just, yeah. It's like my number one thing, I feel, I am a mother. Like I'm generally a very, even before I had children, I'm a very mothering kind of person. Like my motherly instincts kind of existed before I had kids. You know, I feel like some people have that, some people don't. It's the one thing I feel that I do not freeze when it comes to motherhood. I don't know why. I get overwhelmed, overstimulated. Lord knows I get overstimulated, but I just go through it. I just, yeah. Which does lead to burnout, but yeah. Lots of things to talk about. I'm not gonna ramble on. I've already rambled on for 11 minutes at this point. I will see you guys tomorrow, I'm guessing, because I think we're starting testing videos. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.